All right, Tuesday the 6th, we are on upper body, and we do have 2 parts to this workout. I know that because there are 2 different sets with star and underline. So we have 5, 6, or 7 rounds, 12 palm up raises, 16 alternating bent over rows, 12 alternating wide grip shoulder press, and then we have our second part, which is leg lowers with a press, and that is 4 reps. So 12 palm up raises. Alternating bent over rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 16. Alternating wide grip shoulder press, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 20. And then our part 2 is leg lowers with press. You can do this a couple of different ways. You can hold 1 weight, you can hold 2 weights. Lower and press, up and down. Lower and press, up and down, okay? Or you can hold a weight in each hand. Okay, so part 1 is just like yesterday. You're going to pick how many rounds you want to do. 5, 6, or 7 rounds, that is up to you. The number of reps is 12, 16, and 20. And for part 2, we're doing it 4 reps. So what that means is instead of doing it in a rounds setting or structure, you're doing it 4 reps, which means you're going to pick between 50 and 100, and you're just going to do those until you're done. So you could pick 50, you could pick 67, you could pick 78. It doesn't matter what the number is, you're just going to pick it, and you're going to perform leg lowers with press until you hit that number. So that does not mean I expect you to do them all back to back to back to back to back without resting. You are going to rest. So you're just going to do them until you need to take a rest, keep going until you need to take a rest, and keep going until you hit that number that you choose, okay? That is how 4 reps works. You just pick a number and you do the exercise until you hit that number. So, palm up raises. And I also try to mention if I'm using my lighter set or my heavier set, especially with upper body exercises. Because a lot of women do very basic upper body exercises. So we're probably doing a lot that you've never done before, and I like to point out, like if you're like, oh, I feel so weak, I always try to point out like, hey, this is one that you're probably gonna need your lighter set for. Okay, so palm up raises. You're going to start with your dumbbells on the side of your body with your palm facing outward, okay? You're going to raise up and kind of come together in front of your chest and lower back down. 1. Raise up, squeeze together, back down, 2. Raise up and squeeze together, back down, 3. So notice when I am here, I am about, I would say shoulder level, chest to shoulder height, back down. So you want to make sure when you do these, you're not swinging, okay? You want to make sure you hit your spot at the top and return to where you started at the bottom. Hit your spot at the top, return to where you started at the bottom, okay? So that one is very basic. Just make sure you're taking your time and you're not swinging. Now, alternating bent over rows. This is what it's gonna look like from the front. This is what it looks like from the side. So the stance that I am in when I'm doing it is anytime you do something bent over, you're gonna be in this exact stance. So what that stance is shoulder width or closer. You could have your feet touching, I usually don't, but pretty narrow stance with your feet, okay? Could be here, could be here, could be here. Narrow stance with your feet. You are going to push your butt backward, okay? So push your butt back and then let your back fold, okay? So narrow stance, push your hips and your butt backward, let your back fold down. Okay, my back is going to be straight. It's not going to be rounded and hunched, okay? It's going to be nice and straight, but the straightening comes from pushing your hips back, okay? So hips back, back kind of folds down, slight bend in my knees, okay? That is my bent over stance. Now, for the rows, I have my weights in each hand. I have them kind of starting at my kneecap, and I'm going to pull on my shoulder blade. So I'm gonna pull the weight up to kind of my hip and my chest, release. Pull the other side, release. Pull, pull, okay? Pull, 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 all right? So with these, like I said, you're pulling with your shoulder blades. The weight is nice and controlled. You're not jerking your body. Everything should be staying nice and tight. The only thing that should be moving is your arm and the weight, which you're gonna pull it back to here, release. Pull it back and release. Okay, so this one is alternating. So you're gonna count 1, 2, 3. So if you notice with our workouts, if you have alternating, the number of reps is usually double or more than if you're just doing something single, okay? So that's why we have, 12 raises, 16 alternating gets higher, wide grip gets even higher, okay? So anytime we have alternating, you're gonna have a high number of reps or higher than the other exercises in your workout. So for our wide grip shoulder press, this is also alternating, you're going to start with your arms like a goalpost, okay? So they're out to your side, just like this. And all you're doing is pressing overhead. So make sure you have a nice steady base. Make sure your feet are wide enough apart, and you're gonna press one, down. Press the other, down, okay? So again, this is alternating. So you're gonna count 1, 2, up to your high rep number. I think it's 20. So you start here. So you wanna make sure your elbows never drop. You wanna make sure they're here, nice and parallel, and you're gonna press, and when you press, you're gonna press inward, up over your head, down. Press in, up over your head, 2. Press 3, press 4, press 5, press. You want to make sure you're extending that elbow when you get up to the top, okay? And you want to make sure you never let your elbows sag way down. They might lower a little bit as you go on because you're technically doing a hold here while you're pressing, okay? So this one is going to be tougher than it seems because normally we just do regular shoulder press, or you might do one arm but you're not holding. This one, you're holding it here, okay? So that's the tiring part. So they might be, might start to go down a little bit. If you feel they're getting really low, take a break, okay? So you're here and this one holds while this one pushes, this one holds while this one pushes, okay? So that is your alternating wide grip shoulder press. My shoulders are honestly already burning just from doing that. And then we move on to part 2. So once you do 5, 6, or 7 rounds of those exercises I just went over, you're gonna move on to part 2. Part 2 is leg lowers with a press. So as I mentioned previously, you can do one of 2 things. You can hold 1 weight or you can hold 2 weights. So what we're doing is leg lowers with a press. Now this is one where if the press is too much for you, you can do just the leg lowers. So I'm gonna show you both options, but I'm gonna talk about the leg lowers first. So you're gonna be on your back and your feet are gonna be up straight, your arms would be here, okay? You're going to lower your legs down and you're gonna make sure that your feet do not touch the ground, okay? So they shouldn't go down like this. They're gonna be up here somewhere and your arms are gonna extend up. Bring your legs back, lower your arms. 1. Lower your legs, push up. Lift your legs back up, lower your arms. Slow lower your legs, don't let them hit the ground, your arms go up. Lift your legs back up, your arms go down, okay? So if you're gonna use 1 weight, you're gonna hold it the long way. So you're gonna start at your chest and you're gonna press up as you lower, release as your legs come back up. Press up as you lower, release as your legs come back up. Or you're going to hold 1 weight in each hand and you're going to be on the sides of your chest. Press up, press up, okay? That is up to you, however you want to do it. And again, if having the weight is too much for you, you're going to just do your leg lowers.